Hello and welcome back to NoBS. Today we return to talking about some celebrities, endorsements, and the United States election, which is going on this week and will be concluded by Tuesday. That's right, things are heating up. Specifically, things are heating up in the celebrity world because we're going to talk about a certain actress who is coming out against Kanye West. Today we're talking about Jennifer Aniston. She became famous to the world in the 90s on her big hit show called Friends. She was one of a big cast on that show. It was pretty funny, but as Kanye is going to go and say later, it wasn't that funny. For good reason. Jennifer Aniston recently came out for no reason and kind of said people shouldn't vote for Kanye West. She was going after Kanye, saying him running for this election is distracting people, almost saying that black people shouldn't vote for Kanye because it's not going to help. They need to elect Biden, essentially. She's obviously going with the left wing and trying to support Biden like the rest of Hollywood, basically an establishment shill. And the other thing to introduce and to explain is, of course, Kanye West is technically running for president this year. He entered the race very late. He's not even on the ballot in every state. That rhymes, so what do you say? Maybe I could be a rapper too. I don't know. But basically, yeah, Kanye is on the ballot. He got himself into a position. I don't know if it's some kind of publicity stunt. He's trying to make a point. He's trying to sell his new album. There's a lot of reasons for it. Whichever he wants to do, go for it. I'm not against or for Kanye. I don't think we should vote for Kanye either necessarily. Like, I want Trump to win. And in this case, Jennifer Aniston obviously wants Biden to win. Kanye is probably more of a threat to people like Biden because if anyone's going to vote for him, it's going to be Democrats that might have voted for Biden. And that's why people like Jennifer Aniston are worried he's going to take votes away from Biden, and that could help Trump. And maybe that's why Kanye's doing it. I mean, he supported Trump before. A few years ago, he met with the guy. So this could be a secret plan to help Trump get reelected. And if that's the case, then I'm all for it. Go for it, dude. Thanks, Kanye. You the man, Yeezy. Here's an article with more details. It says, Kanye West responds to Jennifer Aniston's voting comments saying, got him shook. So Kanye is saying they're worried. They're actually talking about him and they're getting shook. And then he also said Friends wasn't funny either. So that's a pretty good diss. He has a point there. I actually had some fun watching Friends when I was a kid. I was very young when it came out, though. I was like 10 or so whenever it came out. So it wasn't necessarily like this big brain, fun, interesting, smart comedy. It was just like a bunch of dumb, pretty people filming in LA, pretending they're in New York. And that's the whole point. And I think it's just funny that Jennifer Aniston's tipping her hat into this ring so late, and then Kanye is totally owning her. Kanye West has responded to recent comments made by Jennifer Aniston, who told her followers that it's not funny to vote for the rapper in the upcoming U.S. election. Last weekend, the Friends actor took to social media to discuss the importance of voting, sharing a picture of herself mailing in her vote for Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. I voted for Biden and Harris, she captioned the Instagram post. I dropped my ballot off and I did it early. I voted for them because right now this country is more divided than ever. Well, I don't think voting for Biden-Harris ticket is going to make us less divided. The Democrats are the ones dividing us. They're the ones causing chaos. They're the ones race baiting and taking these stories and making people all upset. They're taking the pandemic and overblowing it to scare people. They're taking these arrests gone wrong and making them national stories, causing riots, causing people to destroy cities like Philadelphia that's been engulfed in flames for days now. People are robbing stores all over the place there, all because the Democrats are insane. They can't stand that Trump is winning, that America wants a conservative value. They want to keep this country great and awesome and patriotic and supporting of ourselves, supporting our people and bringing our country up. And instead of worrying about other places and bringing in immigrants that don't even respect us and don't even care, they're going to commit crimes and destroy our country, suck off of our resources. And it's just really rich coming from a Hollywood elitist like Jennifer Aniston, who has been rich and famous for over almost 30 years now. So she's never suffered. She's never had a real issue. She says the country is supposedly divided, but what does she know? She's not even talking to real people. This is a real diva-like woman who hasn't lived in the real world since the 90s. Right now, a few men in power are deciding what women can and can't do with their own bodies. Our current president has decided that racism is a non-issue. He has repeatedly and publicly ignored science. Too many people have died. Okay, what the heck? Okay, first of all, men in power are deciding what women can do with their bodies. I'm not really sure. I know they bring this up as a point. I have no idea what they're talking about. I never heard of any person, any man trying to take away women's rights. I know what she's implying and what she's referring to, talking about Roe v. Wade getting reversed, but that's never come up. That's just fear mongering. That's just over exaggerating. No one is talking about that. If they are, they're certainly on the more extreme sides of the issue. issue. The point is, it's not happening to the degree they're claiming. Just like the thing with racism. President says racism is a non-issue. That's because it shouldn't be a big deal. It's not as big a deal as the Democrats claim. They're just wild racists who hate everyone who's not like them. They hate anyone that's not a minority or alphabet. White people suck, straight people, men, you name it. That's what they're against. They're against Christians and Jews too. They support other religions on other more extreme religions. And the point is, racism is a basic non-issue in America. The only ones focusing on it and making it an issue are Hollywood, liberal elitists, BLM, Antifa. That's what happened in Philadelphia again too. Philadelphia has had those riots, and there was one case where the rioters came in and started attacking white people at this Chick-fil-A. They ignored the minorities. They left them all alone. I'm sure if they saw an obvious alphabet, they would be accepted, but white people are under attack, and the Democrats want to pretend it's the opposite. That's what's crazy. They want to pretend that the minorities are being racist against, people are pushing down black people or something like that. It's just not the case. You guys are attacking us. You guys are expecting too much from us. You should be enriching your own lives and creating better communities for yourself. She concluded by writing, P.S. It's not funny to vote for Kanye. I don't know how else to say it. Please be responsible. You can see the full post below. So she's putting the ballot in the mailbox. She's got the mask and everything too. This is just the perfect, typical liberal setup. I believe that's her rich, fancy car in the back there, but it's just so cringe. It's like, dude, you're not a normal person. You're not a hero for wearing a mask out in public, out by no one. Don't touch this voting box so much if you're worried about getting sick. I mean, why is your hand on there? Who knows how many people touch this thing? You're supposed to vote, and I don't know, it should be contactless. You're getting germs from that, but you're wearing a mask. It doesn't make sense. You're not smart. You're just a pretty actress. I've actually enjoyed a lot of your work. Don't get me wrong. She was funny. I enjoyed Friends too. I'll admit that. I enjoyed a lot of her movies, but this kind of whiny, cringy kind of vote thing going against Kanye is certainly a bad look. On Monday, October 26th, West responded with a pair of since deleted tweets, the first of which saw him share a screenshot of a Vanity Fair article about Aniston's comments. Wow, that Rogan interview got him shook, he wrote. In reference to his recent 3-hour interview on the Joe Rogan Experience, let's go. He then wrote, Friends wasn't funny either in a follow-up tweet. Earlier this week, Kanye West expressed his desire to buy the Universal Music Group for $25 billion. It comes after West recently suggested new guidelines for recording and publishing deals in the future of the music industry, discussing contracts, masters, and rights issues in the music industry on Twitter, and advocating for fair treatment for all artists. So luckily, we have brave, strong Americans like Trump and Kanye. But in this case, talking about Kanye, he is trying to stand up for musicians and their rights. He's trying to get behind the whole corrupt system of the studios owning everything, the studios controlling all of the property, all of the intellectual property, all the music that they get signed away to them. And it's a good fight. It's a very specific thing. And I think this has more to do with why he's running for president. He's trying to raise points for these issues. He's also coming up against some big major corporations. Like, luckily he is big and rich and successful. He's uncancelable because he's going up against a behemoth here. He is certainly David versus Goliath in this situation. Like, because I wouldn't be surprised if these music industries tried to take him out, tried to slander him. They're probably the ones behind the propaganda saying he's crazy. And the Joe Rogan Experience, that was an interview that happened recently. That's why this whole issue in Kanye has come back into the limelight. That's why Jennifer Aniston's talking about it and just putting her nose in this political realm when she really shouldn't. She's just an actress. Who cares? Everyone that's following you is following you because you're pretty and you're funny in some movies, not because of who you voted for and what you think about Kanye. Meanwhile, Friends has been reimagined with an all-black cast for a new table read. The event, held on a Zoom last month, was the second in a new table read series called Zoom Where It Happened. So there is a woke version of Friends coming out, and all black Friends. We're going to have to talk about that again one day. But I mean, yeah, it's so weird. I guess the original Friends won't be involved in that, but these guys look interesting. What's this person? I don't know. I guess the end of the story is Jennifer Aniston getting super woke, super left wing, super pro Biden and Harris, which is just the worst ticket imaginable. People that vote for them is one thing. I mean, I get if you have to pick one of the other, there could be a situation where you feel like you're picking the least of two evils. But in this case, if you're promoting it, if you're that torn and you then go and promote it, I just feel bad bad for you. This is going to look really bad in the future. Whether Biden wins or not, whether Trump wins, I mean, God forbid Trump loses, but if Biden wins, it's just going to be a whole presidency of scandals. They're going to be investigating him. They're going to go over all his China assets. They're going to go over all these shady deals he made. He's going to be falling apart. He could barely stand up. He's going to be getting decrepit. We're going to deal with Kamala taking over, pushing forth her more extreme policies right away. Other far left wingers like AOC and Ilhan Omar are going to inch their way into the White House, into Kamala's ear. It's going to be a real messed up couple of years. And that's what's going to make it look bad for these people that supported Biden in the beginning. They think they're just helping and like, oh, it's like, oh, I want to stop Trump. Trump's so evil. Orange man bad. But really, they're going to help input this very bad candidate, this very bad system. The Biden presidency will likely ruin America. It's going to be bad for everyone. And I'm sick of these liberal elitists, these Hollywood elitists in their ivory white towers trying to tell us who we can and can't vote for. If you want to vote for Kanye, vote for Kanye. I think you should vote for Trump. She thinks you should vote for Biden. I don't think either of us really have more significant credibility. It's like, okay, you're in a few movies, lady. Who cares? You're a pretty person who does workouts every day. Like, it doesn't make you this genius political advisor. That about wraps things up. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Make sure you comment your thoughts on everything below. Subscribe if you're new. Hit the bell for notifications too. Until next time, have a good one.